Hi, my name is Emmanuel Temitope Amujo, the founder of FinREMIT. I'm proud to welcome you to a new series that we just unveiling at FinREMIT, which is called FinSIGHT. This will be coming out in various episodes, and the vision is to provide financial insights, education, information that will keep you informed, reformed, and empowered financially. In this debut episode, which is the first of the episode in the FinSIGHT, we're going to explore a very important topic, which is building financial literacy for financial growth. This is an interesting topic that you will not want to miss, most especially for those living in the UK. If you're not living in the UK, the insights from this episode is still going to be very important for you, because we're going to break generic issues that will be relevant for you to be financially informed, reformed, and empowered. One thing I want you to understand is adapting to life in a new location, a new country, comes with a lot of challenges. And understanding how to navigate the financial landscape is one of the most important things that you should not take for granted. Whether you are learning to budget, that is knowing what comes into your hand on monthly basis, weekly basis, and how you're going to spend it effectively. Or whether you're looking at exploring investment options, or you're looking for some side hustles, side businesses you can do to boost your income. It is very important to have the right financial know-how, which is crucial for your long-term prosperity. So, following channels like FinREMIT and the FinSIGHT episodes will keep you like attending a masterclass in your personal financing, and at the long run, you will be well informed to the extent that meeting your bills, settling your bill, planning for your future, and even securing yourself from emergency fund, emergency financial needs will not be an issue, because we're going to give you insights that will give you some level of financial security. And we're also going to enhance your financial intelligence, whereby you will be well equipped with the skills and technique to protect yourself from unforeseen financial mess. So it is important for you to join us as we unravel practical strategies to strengthen your financial literacy, introduce you to investment opportunities that suits your risk type, and also highlight side hustles that complement your lifestyle, especially in this United Kingdom. So let's start and let's go straight to today's topic, financial literacy. So what is financial literacy? It's a straightforward financial term that means having the right knowledge that enhance your financial decisions. Having the right knowledge that enhance your financial decision. You see, we all make financial decisions almost every day of our life. We make financial decisions as to, should I buy a house or rent a house? We make financial decisions of should I save my money or invest the money? We make financial decisions of different kinds that if you don't make it right, if you are not making it as an informed financial decision, it could ruin your financial lifestyle and at the long run put you into some financial mess that you may not want to find yourself. Such as, for example, if you are getting a house and the rent you are paying in that house is more than what the proportion that you are supposed to spend on house rent or on your basic needs, those things can put you in a lot of financial mess. And for those of us living in a country like United Kingdom, you may not want it to affect, you may not want to take some financial decisions that will affect your credit score or your credit position. Financial literacy is having the right knowledge of budgeting, saving, investing, and managing your debt, so you can make an informed decision about your personal finances. Very straightforward. But what are the key words there? Budgeting, savings, investing, and managing debt. So we're going to go deep first into budgeting. And what is budgeting? Budgeting, like I said earlier, is just a simplified way of knowing what you have, what you need, what you want, and what you should save. These are the three things that I use to explain budgeting. I always say it in a very straightforward way. Having the right knowledge of the proportion of your income that you are to spread to your needs, your wants, and your savings makes you have the best budgeting techniques that will keep you financially sound and financially safe. The first thing is your needs. When you have an income, 50% of all your income, whether from your personal business salary, or from your job, or from any form of income that comes to you as a personal income, you need to appropriate these using the 50-30-20 rules. And it's a very common rules, but I'm just going to break it down. I will try as much as possible to display some of those slide on the screen for you to see as well. So when you have an income, 50% should go to your needs, 30% should go to your wants, and 20% should go to savings and investment. When I said 50% should go to needs, what are your needs? Needs are things. You will see some of my videos where we try to differentiate between the needs and wants. But in this video, I won't go deep into it. I will just give examples of needs, basic needs that you may want to know. So needs are things that that are essential for your living. They are things that you must have or do to continually survive. There are things you must do to meet the life expectations, your daily life expectations. And one of these needs is food, feeding, shelter, housing, basic clothing. Basic clothing. When I said basic clothing, you'll know what I mean. Clothing could be basic and could be luxury. So the basic ones are the needs. The luxury ones are wants, which you can do away with. So basic examples of needs are groceries, housing, utilities, health insurance, car payments, or transportation expenses because you need to commute to your place of work, and lots more. So 50% of whatever income comes to you should go to your needs, and then 30% should go to your wants. Wants could sound like needs, but it's relatively of less importance compared to needs. So wants are things like extra shopping, dining out, some hobbies, entertainment, and the likes. And I was in a presentation today and I gave a scenario of comparing your internet subscription and your Netflix subscription and say which of these is a need and which of it is a want. And a lot of the response from the audience of that presentation was that your internet subscriptions in this present age is a need, while your Netflix subscription could be a want depending on your lifestyle. If you are using your Netflix subscription to make a living for yourself, or your life depends on needs, it could be a need. But in the basic sense of it, Netflix subscriptions or other subscriptions, subscription to your Amazon TV and other kind of entertainment platform are wants. They are not basic needs, but it doesn't mean that you don't need to spend on them. But 30% of all of these, your income should go to these wants. So the assignment I have for you is that as you are listening to this video, this series, I need you to start writing it out. So get a page in your paper and put needs. So you write need, and when you write your needs, you now say, what are those things? Start thinking of those things that if you don't spend on them, you can't survive. Then start to write them out. At least you must write 10. Write them specifically. Like, for example, when I said groceries, so feeding. And this feeding is also the basic. There is the basic one, there is the extra one. So the basic feeding, things that normally you should just have at home, and how much does it averagely cost you. So that is an assignment for you, because at the end of this series, we need to check ourselves and see whether we are living within our means or we are living outside our means. And if we need to cut our lifestyle to meet the realistic. At the end of this series, if that is not happening, then we have failed. So what are your needs? Start writing them out in specifics. And how much does it cost you? Like your rent, how much do you spend per month? Make them monthly. Your groceries, your feeding to the house, how much average do you spend? Just look at the last month and use it as the benchmark, as the kind of the benchmark, the yardsticks to determine, like, okay, last month, can I really remember how much I spent on feeding? The number of times you went to market to buy food for the home, the ones you even bought either on credit or in any form. List them out and put the cost in front of it. We need to come up with a figure at the end of it, and that is going to help us a lot to make a decision on your budgeting technique. You're also going to do the same for me with your wants. So in the other side, you put the wants. So what are the things that you think is important for you and you feel like, you need to have them? So list those things out that are not the basic needs, like maybe dining, eating out, going for holidays, and some other things like that. Then the third part of your income distribution, which helps your budgeting, is the savings part, which should be 20%. So 20% of your income should go to saving, and this is not an option. It is very, very important. So what type of savings can you put this money into? I will still be talking to you in this same series, the various savings techniques and even investment techniques that you can put into consideration. But it's just the first about this episode is for you to at least understand what comes in and what goes out of your income, what comes in and what goes out. So for your savings, I said 20% should go to savings, and that includes emergency funds. You could set up an emergency fund. You could open an ISA account, like the individual savings account for those in the United Kingdom. And you could also consider high yielding investment opportunities that you could put your savings on. But one thing is that there is a clear difference between savings and investing, because if you don't have that clear understanding of what savings is and what investment is, some of us misconstrue it and we misappropriate our money in that instance. So one is a short term and one is long term. One could be the fund used to achieve the other one. So if you accumulate your savings over time, then you can now move it to the right investment options that suits your kind of person, which we would also talk in our next episode if we couldn't cover it in this episode. So 20% of your money should go to savings, like emergency fund account, retirement account in form of pension. You could also save in form of studies or embarking on some personal development efforts. So all of these are things that you should put into mind when you are having or planning your budgeting techniques. So it's a very simple one for us today. The assignment is straightforward. List out your needs, list out your wants, and list out your savings. This is the easiest way for you to do it. Like I said earlier, look at your last month expenses, what you spent out last month, and then what came into you last month. So just write it somewhere. Okay, last month you earned £10,000. So if you earned £10,000 last month, then list out everything that you spent money on. You need to remember it. One thing is that if you can't remember your spendings, then you are not spending based on your budget. So you are just ending out of plan. And that is a very, very dangerous financial action that you must not take. You can't just spend without purpose. So, and if you must spend at all, even if it is an emergency spending, you must keep record of it. So, and that's the reason why I advise people, make sure most of your spendings go out from your account. Don't when your income comes in, even if you take a cash income, try to pay into your bank account and ensure that when you are spending directly to those things that you can track when you are trying to do your reconciliation. So list out all your expenses, then try to categorize them as which one can I do without. Then those ones that you can do without but are necessary, you can put them in need. Those ones in wants, and those ones that you can't do without them, you put them in your needs. And then do you actually have a savings? If you don't, then there is a problem. So the next will be for you. How can you have savings? You see, many of us say that the money we are earning presently is not enough to even meet our bills. So how do you expect me to save? So, and the truth is that the moment you know that what you are earning is not enough to meet all your bills, all your monthly expenses, that is the signal for you to understand that there is an urgent need to cut all your costs, or an urgent need to have extra income streams. So, and that is the reason why in some of the episodes of our FinSIGHT, we'll be talking about side hustles to make more money. So you have two options. If your total income is less than your total expenses every month, which means you have a budget deficit, then what you need to do is either cut your cost to suit your income or increase your income to accommodate all your cost, all your expenses. Otherwise, if you don't do that, then there will be a big problem. And that is the very reason why we need to follow this topic with serious attention. If at the point where you are trying to do your classification and you're having some questions and you feel like dropping it in the comment section, like, okay, I have this kind of expense I spend every month, where can I classify it? Take for example, some of my clients talk to me, ask me questions about black tax. Some of them tells me they pay tithes, and some does charity, religious payments and the likes, and asks where can we classify these. And I tell them these are more like a want that you want to do it, and you feel like, yeah, your belief wants you to do it. And if you believe that is good for you to do as Christians or as Muslims or whichever religion or charity you want to do, either in form of tithe or something, some 10%, some could be more, you can't put that in your want, because you have 30% to play with in your want. So now take for instance, if I says that your groceries, as your feeding, your rent, your transport, these are key three things that you will do almost. Some could include internet. So if I say that these things should not be more than 50%, imagine somebody that is earning £2,000 and the rent he's paying is 1,500. You could see that there is a big problem, because the rent alone is taking 50%, whereas rent, feeding, and transport, and maybe internet utilities should have been 50% combined. So the moment you have started your listing and you notice that those things, the feeding, the grocery or feeding, your rent, your transport, your utilities, that is the light, the internet, and some basic utilities, water, gas, everything combined is more than 50% of your total income, then there is a big problem. If your rent alone is more than 50% of your total income, then you are no longer in a problem, you are in a financial danger. It goes beyond just a problem. A problem can still be managed, but it is when it becomes a danger, it means that if you don't amend as a matter of urgency, you could go into a financial crisis that you may not be able to manage. So when you keep saying that I don't have enough to spend, how do you expect me to save, is because you have not actually planned your income distribution in line with the 50-30-20 rules. If you have done that, you would know that that rent you are paying presently is more than your means. So it's now very important to cut down that cost, or you take away pride and go get more income. Go get more income. Start turning your passion to income. That is the way you can save yourself from this kind of financial mess. Otherwise, the crisis will come and you may even go bankrupt. It may even affect your financial credit scoring. So let me quickly now go to savings technique. I've said it's not an option. You just have to save. And like I said, you are not safe if you don't save. It's just the fact. You are not safe if you don't save. 20% of your money should go to savings. If you know you don't want to put the whole 20% in a single type of savings, say you want to have an individual savings account, ISA, or you want to have a pension savings, or you want to, whichever form of savings you are doing, if you are actually doing some pension scheme, whether the employment pension or a personal pension, whichever one, you must check the figure. How many percentage of your income does this represent? If it is already 20%, then you could just, okay, you may not want to emburden yourself to make it too much. But if you notice that you are not doing all of this before, and you don't even have anything to say, this is my savings, nothing to point to as a savings, then you need to do that now. And how do you do it? You can make savings effortless and even automatic. You can set up an automatic transfer on your account to a savings account. And I tell people, don't make your savings too liquid. If you make it too liquid, then it's just another type of liquid fund, not really a savings. So the more you make it illiquid, the higher the likelihood of earning more interest or yield from those savings. If you fix money, the bank pay you more interest than when you put it in the normal savings account. Normal savings accounts can earn you maybe even less than 3%. But if you put it in higher savings like lifetime ISA or other form of savings, they could even give you more. Do you know that when you have a lifetime ISA, individual savings account with your bank in the UK here, if you have such kind of high lifetime ISA and you are buying your building, your mortgage, your first home, you want to buy your first home, do you know that you can use your ISA to generate as much as extra 20% of whatever you have saved from the government towards the purchase of your new home? If you don't know this, you are losing a lot, because that extra is just like a buffer to you, that it will reduce the financial burden towards your deposit that you need for your mortgage. So, but if you're doing that, the money is already earning some interest for you in the side, and by the time it's time for you to get your mortgage, you could apply for this scheme. It's a scheme by the UK government, which is there for you to explore. So all you need to do is just give it a try and see if you you could be a beneficiary of this. So you need to set up an automated transfer for your savings, and you need to perhaps explore some apps that can help you. There are so many bank apps that allows you to set this up, and as soon as we are launching our app as well, FinREMIT app is also going to help you to do some of these things. And I want to say this here: if you are finding it difficult to do some of these things, you can send us an email on info@finremit.co.uk to see how we can help you set up all of these, your budget plans, and make it seamless for you. We can also have a one-to-one session with you where we would help you analyze your finances. We'll look at what is coming in, what is going out, and we also advise you to see the cost cutting technique you can put in place. Which of it can you do with or do without, and also advise you on some extra income generation technique that you could also look at, considering your nature and your kind of person. Now, the next thing that I want to say is you need to compare all the various savings options before you pick one, because some are better than the other. So we at FinREMIT also help you to do that. We help you to look at the various options in the market, and we tell you, considering your present financial situation, this is the best type of savings for you. Don't go for this because this could be stressful. This could be an extra burden on you because your financials cannot meet this kind of savings options. Because the truth about it is, on that same app of your bank, if you are in the UK, you could just go there and go to their products, go to ISA, individual savings account, and you see the various options. There is the cash ISA, there is the stock ISA, there is the lifetime ISA. The stock ISA is more like buying shares in other companies. Some of us may not know these, and they are just as easy as clicking on the button on your phone. Now, one good thing is that every year the UK government sets a limit to how much you can save in a year, because they are trying to regulate savings and expenses so that people will not get attracted to too much savings, and for that reason they won't be able to spend. Because if spending is also low, it could affect the economy, because the economy needs to continue to circulate. So the UK government, I think for the year 2024-2025 financial year, they've set a maximum of 20,000 per annum, but it doesn't mean that the maximum balance that should be in your ISA should be 20. You can have up to 100,000, 200,000. I think there are some ISA that can even have up to as much as £5 million. So what am I saying in essence is, but for that year, when they said it's 20,000, that is based on the financial regulations. They will say, okay, our fiscal policy for this year will only allow an individual to have up to 20,000, because people may be getting attracted to the interest rate and some other benefits from the ISA and stop spending, so that all their money can go to savings. And that will affect the economy in one way or the other, because the bank will now need to aggressively lend out this money in the savings. And when that happens, banks will be under the pressure to give out credit, and some credits may start failing because they may not perform. They will give out credit to the wrong hand, and then you will notice that businesses that are into trading will be having lesser sales. People are already reducing their income that is available for spending. So the government look at all of these options. As much as it's good to save, it's also very important to spend. And if you look at it critically, it's just about 80% of your income is going to various forms of spendings. If 50 is for needs and 30 is for wants, and just 20 is for savings. So that means a huge sum is already going for savings, which is going to make the economy to be active. I will say it again. If you are not saving, you are not safe. And the rules to save is that you have to be consistent in it. Consistency is key. You have to overcome temptation. When you want to save, there will be a lot of temptations. You would want to see a new gadget and say, let me upgrade. And the process of upgrading could come with extra financial commitment. You may want to say that, okay, let me try and even go for this holiday. I have these savings. Let me enjoy my life while I'm alive. and you want to feel like, okay, let me take out from this savings. So you need to try as much as possible to overcome temptation. Then you need to take advantage of technology if truly you want to save. Technology is going to help you a lot. You don't need to transfer this money yourself every month. The tech can You can set up these tech automated savings plans and they keep the money away. If I one thing I like with some of these banks is you can even save the change on your expenses, so you can save while you spend. So if you spend and you have, like, if you spend £5 20p, you have 80p to make it up to £6. So some bank will round it up to £6 for you and save the 80p. So they keep saving for you while you are spending, but it's just like rounding it up to the whole number. All of these are what technology can use to make you save easily. And one thing that I would like to say when you are putting your savings rule is that you should try as much as possible to be realistic with it. If you know that your income cannot allow you to save, you have to be very, very realistic to yourself. It's either you increase your income stream or you reduce your spendings so that you can have room for savings. It has to be realistic. Don't save too much. Don't save beyond 20%. If you can save 10%, 5% at start, and then you scale it up gradually from 5 to 10 to 15, then to 20. And if you have already have a saving schemes like your pension or something else that you are putting that could give you return in the future, do not overstretch yourself to keep saving too much. So you have to just balance it, and the best way to balance it is just to follow the budgeting rule of 50 30 20. Now let me quickly talk about savings and investment. A lot of people have always misconstrued it. You see, savings is a way to keep your money in the short term for an emergency or for future investment. That is just a very simple thing. You save for emergency or for future investment. So you cannot just take your income today, this month, and you say, oh, from my monthly salary, I want to start investing. Yet there could be some investment platform like that takes your investment in piecemeal or in small bits, but it will be a kind of a savings and investment plan integrated together. So savings is firstly putting those money together in a short term and building them together for a particular purpose, whether to meet an urgent need or to secure your retirement plan and the likes. So let me quickly give you what differentiates you as a saver and also as an investor. So it is good to save for the future, but it is bad when you save and you are not investing your savings. I would also have a different video for that, a longer video for savings versus investing, or why it is not good if your savings is not being invested. So a lot of people are risk averse. They don't want to take any risk, so they prefer to keep their money liquid because savings has a very low risk, while investment have a very high risk. In fact, when you are in some of these investment platforms, they will say it clearly that you may lose the whole of the money that you are investing, so you need to be careful. They gave that caveat or a disclaimer to you. So investment could be very risky, but the return you get on investment is obviously higher than what you get on savings. So first difference between savings and investment is savings is short-term, investment is long-term. It could be for your retirement and the likes, and that is very key. Investing for your retirement keeps you financially independent, and it's called FIRE. It's called FIRE in finance, financial independence and retiring early. If you want to do that, it's like you are investing. If you are planning when you want to retire, like I want to retire at the age of 50, 60, I don't want to wait till 70, 80. And even when I'm 70, 80, I just want to sit in my home, read my newspaper, watch my news, and get my income comes in for me. So that is kind of keeping your money as an investor. So we call it FIRE in finance. So the second difference is savings is always kept in a kind of a liquid account, while investment is always not very liquid. So the more liquid it is, then the more it tends towards savings. The more illiquid it is, the more it gets tending towards investment. So when you are keeping your money for investment, it's not something you can wake up overnight and you say, I want to withdraw it. So it means investment is not something you can get back immediately, especially the whole money. You can still get some of the returns on your investment back, but it cannot be in the chunk of the principal that was invested. Like I said earlier, savings is of low risk and has a low return. Investment is high risk and has a high return. Savings is very liquid and accessible, like I said, but investment is always not very liquid. Sometimes you can't even touch it. When do you save and when do you invest? Like, for example, money you plan to spend within 1 to 3 years, they are like a savings. Okay, the next 1 year I want to buy a car. The next 1 year I want to build. The next 2-3 years I want to build a house. I want to build a home or buy a home for myself. In the next 1 year I want to go on vacation. In the next 2 years I want to have my wedding. And you keep money for this purpose. They are savings. So the moment you are doing that, you are just saving. But when you start keeping your money for 4 years plus, like you are planning for investment, your kids' college, and now they are not in the college yet, but you're already keeping money towards their college. You are planning for your FIRE, that is FIRE, Financial Independence and Retirement Early Plan. Those are long-term investment, which the moment your goal is to do such things, then they are already investment classified. And your investment can go into stocks, it can go into bonds, and it can go into other investment options like even starting a business of your own, which I would also explain in some other episodes of FinSIGHT. So let's give you a little break while I come back, close this episode of financial literacy. But before then, I would like you to know that as with this, so far we've been able to explain how you should break your income into what you need, what you want, and what you are saving. And I've also explained to you why you should not just save, but you can save and invest as well. Because take, for example, you may save and be getting to 2% interest on your savings, and some investment can give you as much as 10% to 20 to 30%, depending on what you are really investing in. Let me give you a quick example. If you are saving and you are being paid 2% every year, 40 years later, your savings will be, let's say you are doing that 500 per month, your savings 500 per month, and the other person is investing 500 pounds per month. In 2 years, depending on the market volatility, if the person that is saving is getting 2% and the person that is investing is getting 10%, in 40 years, the person that is saving is going to have 365,000 pounds thereabout, while the person that is investing in 40 years after will be having 2.7 million pounds thereabout. What are we trying to say? So if they are both 20 years old now, by the time they are 60, one person is cashing out 2.7 million, while the other person is cashing out 365,000. So who among them do you think will be financially independent at age 60? This is very important for you to understand. You may not get it in this video straight away, but you can send us an email where we can book a one-to-one session with you, where we would give you a tailored insight into your finance. Do you wish to just see us analyze your finances and you could feel like, wow, so I've been overspending, or wow, so I've been wasting my money in savings all this while, instead of you to have moved it from that savings to a more high yielding investment that are relatively secured? So at this point, I want to say a big thank you to you for watching the first episode of our FinSIGHT video series. We'll be coming out with the next episode, which is going to be on investment opportunities. especially in the United Kingdom. So I hope you will not miss that episode. It promises to be very insightful, and subsequent episode also will be talking about how you could even secure your mortgage and how you can take advantage of your savings to get your mortgage, why you need to compare getting your mortgage with your renting. All of these are things that you will be getting in the subsequent episode of FinSIGHT. I want to say a big thank you to you once again. Don't forget to always follow this channel. If you are just joining this channel, try to follow us. Click on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to share our videos to your friends that could need all of these FinSIGHT that we are pushing out. Once again, thank you, and do have an amazing time.